Swadika, welcome to Buddhism Today, where the world discovers Thai way of Buddhism. Every human being instinctively avoid things that would make them suffer and try to run toward things that would make them feel happy. But is there real happiness? And if there is, how can we achieve that, especially in the time of capitalism and materialism like present day?
In the Buddhist understanding of things, we can say there's basically two kinds of happiness. There's the worldly kind of happiness, which is the happiness of getting what you want. You have a desire, and then you find a way of fulfilling that, and so that brings a feeling of gratification. So we call that worldly happiness. And the other kind of happiness is the happiness of not wanting anything. And so this is what we call, say, a kind of spiritual happiness, or a transcendent happiness. So the worldly kind of happiness, everyone is familiar with that. You cook the food that you like, or you watch a TV program that you are interested in. You go and travel to a place that you like to go and be. So these kinds of worldly happiness we find all around us, and we spend a lot of time, money, energy, effort chasing after those kinds of happiness. But as everyone who has reflected on their life is aware, then those kinds of happiness don't last very long. That kind of feeling is there for a while, that sense of gratification or the thrill of getting what you want, and then it wears out, and then you end up feeling incomplete, or lonely, or insecure, hungry, and you want to go and find something else to fill that gap, to give you another feeling of gratification. So worldly happiness that does exist. The Buddha said there is the asada, the gratification, but there's also the adinava, the disappointment, the downside of that. So that the downside is always looking for the next thing to make us happy. So the other kind of happiness, what we would call spiritual happiness or transcendent happiness, this is what the Buddha's teaching points us to as being the potential that we have as human beings. And this is the kind of happiness of not wanting anything. So in a sense you can say it's discovering your own completeness, or the fullness of your own heart. So Dhamma practice, meditation, the practices of generosity, of meditation, and of renunciation, these are all steered towards helping us to discover that inner completeness, which you can, in a sense, call discovering the Dhamma in your own heart. Because the Dhamma is not lacking anything, the Dhamma does not need anything added to it. So if you can discover that quality of your own nature, your own jitjai, your own heart, then you will find a sense of fullness, a completeness. So we call this the happiness of not wanting anything. That doesn't mean to say we turn into a kind of numb zombie where we have no feeling. Certainly we have feelings, but what it means is we discover that our happiness is not dependent on gratifying a desire or getting away from a painful feeling or just finding something to entertain us. We discover that quality of our heart which is completely full and content and at peace in all circumstances. So whether we have a feeling of hunger, we know, well, my body's hungry, but whether I eat or not is extra. I can be happy with a hungry feeling, I can be happy with a full feeling. My contentment, my feeling of fulfillment and enjoyment of life